Hello everyone, and welcome to Perfect Numbers, a podcast brought to you by Think Academy UK. Subscribe at thinkacademy.uk to gain exclusive access to premium online maths tuition enjoyed by over 4 million students worldwide. The year is 1854. Late at night, a young woman paces the long, dark corridors of an army hospital, surrounded by thousands of wounded soldiers, carrying a small lamp to guide her way. Comforting the sick in their time of need, her kindness earns her the nickname, the Lady with the Lamp. Her name is Florence Nightingale. Born into a wealthy British family in 1820, Florence had an unusual upbringing for her time. Her father was well educated and took it upon himself to educate his daughter personally in subjects such as Italian, Greek, Latin, history, and, most controversially for the time, mathematics. It was clear from an early age that she could excel in these subjects, and she showed a particular ability for mathematics, especially statistics. Statistics is an area of maths which deals with collecting and analysing data, usually in number form, in large amounts. For example, statistics helps us to understand how many people voted in an election and for whom. In her childhood, Florence enjoyed gardening and even began creating tables and charts which recorded the contents of her vegetable garden and could track the rate of growth. So, it is clear that her love for maths, and statistics in particular, began at an early age. So let's fast forward to the 1850s. Florence is in her early 30s and the Crimean War has just broken out, a conflict that took place in Eastern Europe for nearly 3 years. Florence, who had recently trained as a nurse, wanted to help in the war effort and so travelled to work in the army hospitals treating the wounded and sick. When she arrived, she was appalled at the conditions that she found the hospitals in. There was an almost complete lack of hygiene and sanitation, which was causing a lot of problems. Nowadays, we know that good hygiene standards are important for our health, especially in hospitals. But this wasn't the case at the time. We'll talk more about how Florence Nightingale's work impacted public health later on. So, shocked at the sanitary conditions, Florence immediately set about improving hygiene standards. Most importantly, however, she began to make detailed and meticulous notes. These would eventually become important statistics that she would take back to Britain. Thanks to her detailed statistical knowledge, she was able to prove to those in charge that the majority of deaths in the hospitals were not the result of battle wounds, but simply caused by poor sanitary conditions. Thanks directly to her contribution, thousands of lives were saved over the duration of the conflict. But Florence's work was not done. Armed with her new mathematical prowess, she was determined to take what she had learnt in Crimea and implement her knowledge back home. She had already gathered the data to prove that her methods were effective, but how could she convince politicians of it? Part of the skill of a statistician, that is, somebody who studies and uses statistics, is not just gathering the data, but presenting the data in a clear way that could be understood by everybody. This is where Florence Nightingale really showed that she was an incredibly talented mathematician. She knew that merely presenting politicians with lots and lots of numbers would be confusing and ineffective. So instead, she had to come up with a clear way of demonstrating her findings. In doing so, Florence popularized one of the most well-known graphs that we still use today, the pie chart. You'll definitely recognize a pie chart. It's often a colourful circle with different shaded segments to represent different values. Florence's early version of the pie chart was called a polar area diagram. After she presented her information in this clear way, there was no doubt in politicians' minds that serious change was required. After the war, the entire army hospital system was overhauled, and Florence's guidance is still used today. She also took her knowledge to India and managed to implement changes to hygiene standards which drastically reduced the mortality rate. Later in her life, she continued to use mathematical techniques to demonstrate that good sanitation was key to good health, campaigning successfully for the British government to enact an incredibly important Public Health Act in 1875. So what legacy has Florence Nightingale left us? She has, of course, been a huge inspiration for many nurses and other medical professionals. Indeed, the nursing school she founded in 1860 in London is still training new nurses today. But arguably, she had an even more important impact thanks to her ability as a mathematician. Her incredible ability to gather and present statistics in such an effective way played a large role in improving hygiene standards in both the military and in public life. So, if your toilet flushes away to a sewer and you have ready access to clean water, then you can thank in part Florence Nightingale and her skill as a statistician for her influential part in making it possible. We hope you enjoyed this episode of Perfect Numbers. If you'd like to hear more about the incredible history of maths, subscribe to Perfect Numbers on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts. Think Academy offers premium online maths tuition that is specifically designed and delivered to help students achieve better results in Key Stage 1, Key Stage 2, SATs, and the 11+. To learn more about Think Academy's innovative EdTech solutions, visit our website at thinkacademy.uk or follow us on social media at Think Academy UK. See you next time.